back to the old films this morning. Talking Pictures TV is a fantastic channel, by the way, it really is. There was something on earlier on, caught the end of an old British film, and then started watching an old US film, St. Benny the Dip, after which a horse was named Benny the Dip. Very famous horse racing horse over here. I do like the old American films, but the British ones, there's something a bit more shit about them. There's a vibe about them I quite like. Well, I was saying that the fella in St. Benny the Dip was the fella who played Max in Heart to Heart, wasn't it? Jonathan, no, I can't remember his name now. I should do. He of the gravelly voice and a very expressive face. It's funny as well going back and watching some of these old films. Some of the people that were in them, uncredited. I was watching one film and there was like the creme de la creme of British film was uncredited as extras. Sean Connery, uncredited. Obviously at the time he didn't realise he was going to go on to become James Bond, so it was just some other fella in the ensemble. Bizarre though. There's a genre, probably a sub-genre of old British films where they had an American leading man. Not always an overly famous one either, but as long as he had an American accent. I think they might have thought it was opening up the transatlantic route. Get a few more people watching the films. It's quite funny. Usually in crime ones, and they're always either a wise cracking detective or a bad lad. Lots of okay, see, all that kind of stuff. Even better than that is when you've got a British film and they're trying to be the same, trying to speak the same as like a James Cagney and Edward G. Robinson, saying the same kind of things but with a British accent, even though we know there's no such thing as a British accent. Calling women sister. I like your style, sister. Why are you calling that? Why? I do like the rubbishness of anything in general sometimes. It gives it a little bit of a charm, I think. We do that well in the UK, which is why in my hometown we have the British Lawnmower Museum, because one, there is a lawnmower museum, and two, obviously it's in Southport. There's also on the south coast somewhere, there's a thimble museum, a museum just about thimbles, because we do that kind of lunacy and shitness quite well. I like it. British seaside towns have got that in abundance. Speaking of British seaside towns, oh my word, I was just flicking through on the phone. I read an article on something, you know, at the end it gives you suggested articles, usually based around where you live and things like that. And one of them that popped up, it caught my eye, mainly because the photo that they used was an article about Southport Pier. Not too long ago, the British government announced that there's going to be a bit of a fund for some small infrastructure projects around the UK, one of which was mentioned by name was Southport Pier. They reckon they're going to be ready to start rebuilding or making safe within the next 4 to 6 weeks. That's 4 to 6 weeks, not 46 weeks. They also think it could be completed and reopened within 12 to 14 months. It could be sorted for next summer. after being closed for years. I really, really hope it is. Seaside towns that have a pier need them to be working properly. They need people going down there. They need people spending a little bit of money. It's good. And also, when you get to the bottom of it and turn back around and have a look, it gives you a completely different view of where you live. Because the only other chance you get of seeing your town from that far away is either going out on a boat or, in Southport, walk into the sea. Because the sea does go out quite far, but even then it's not quite the same, because you're still quite low down, whereas on the pier you're fairly high up, so it gives you a really good view. And at the end of the pier you'll be able to see Blackpool a bit closer, clearer, and also you should be able to see the Lake District, because you can see Black Combe, which is a hill, a fell, a mountain, probably a fell, isn't it, in the Lake District. You can see that just from the place where I park up by the beach with naked eye. We can also probably see it from the end of the pier. I'm sure you'll be able to see Snowdonia, Ururi, and the glorious Arwyddfa, Mount Snowdon. So I'm looking forward to that. It was also, I used to love going down the pier. My mate used to own the bar at the end of it. No longer with us, unfortunately. Nigel, top man. It was lovely. Arcades down there. Kids begging for pennies. Just not much, is it? Even back in the 90s and early 2000s, probably. Begging for pennies so they can go in the little machines and what have you. Brilliant. I love the shitness of it all. There's something to be said for shitness. It doesn't have to be cool. It doesn't have to be all flashing lights and whiz bangs and retention editing in life. You can just be rubbish. Embrace the rubbish. That's why greasy spoon cafes are so popular, especially with lorry drivers, because they're a bit shit. But you know what you're going to get. There's usually some woman who's sort of middle-aged, experienced, calls everyone lovey, who you can have a chat to if needed. You know, stuff like that, man. Embrace the shitness. That's what I say. Anyway, back in. I'm going to have a nap, then up, shower, dentist. Can't wait to get this over and done with. I've got something. Oh yeah, I've got to ring up as well about the blood tests. It's a stupid thing. Reading through it again last night, I thought I was confused last time. So I live on Merseyside, but I've got to go to Wigan. And the letter said I've got to get my bloods taken, but I can't get them done in certain places. I can't get them done in my local hospital, because if I do, I'll then have to go and get the tests done there. But I can't get the tests done there. So I have to go online, organise online. So I went online. Please only continue if you live in the Wigan Borough area. Well, I don't. So do I carry on with that? If I put my address in, did he tell me, we told you you've got to live in Wigan and you don't, so we're getting rid of you completely? Or it says I can go into one of the hospitals and get it done, but driving 15 miles to have someone just go, thanks, go home now. I'll ring them and see if I can go and see my doctor over the road. Have another fasting blood test and just say to them, please, 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 take more of my blood, because obviously you need it. Send it off to Wigan and let them deal with it. Because I can't be going backwards and forwards to places left, right and bleeding centre for silly little things that can be done close to home. Which makes no sense. It makes no sense. If they need blood and it's got an actual little thing with it, an envelope with all the stickers and everything you need. Cannot just go to me GP. You take it out. There's a phlebotomist over there. He knows how to take blood. He's taken loads so far. Just take a bit, throw it in the envelope, send it off. It'll be sound. Would that be an issue? Why would it be an issue? I don't know. It feels like people are trying to make put as many hurdles and obstacles in the way as possible. There's no need, man. And also, I know it's different. My bloods were taken, was it a week or 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. 2 weeks maybe. Is that too long ago? Can you not just use the results from that? Are they all looking for different stuff? The last time the doctors took blood, it was about cholesterol, and this is what this is about. I had to go and ask them to take a little bit extra so that the eye clinic could get what they wanted to get done, checked as well. How soon is blood out of date when it comes to being checked? Obviously, you can't give blood 1 year and then 4 years down the line. Well, you took some, yeah, because you could have developed anything in that time. Your cholesterol could have gone through the roof. I know that, I understand that. I'm not an idiot. Honest. But how long? I'm rambling now, aren't I? Don't fall asleep in the car. Tea, nap, shower, dentist. Come on. That's how the day is going to start. That's how it's going to start. Come on, let's go and do this thing.